How well and how good we spend your tax-paying dollars. We keep the rate low, spend our tax money wisely, and that's why our seniors is able to stay here when they retire and go home for good. So again, welcome to Hoke County Board of Commissioners. Tonight we have our invocation pledge by Vice Chair Mr. Harris Hoke.
Good evening, Hoke County. I'm going to lead you in the pledge, and I'm going to get Ms. Green to lead us in the prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear Heavenly Father, it's once more again, Lord, we come calling upon your holy and righteous name. Lord, we come tonight, God, to do the business of Hoke County. Lord, let everything we do tonight be done for your glory, not for no form or fashion, not for no outside show to the world, but God, for people here in Hoke County. We thank you for it in advance, Lord, because, Lord, we know you as a God, answering God, and we thank you for it right now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Green.
Thank you, Vice Chair Commissioner Harris, for a pledge and invocation. Are we ready to go, folks? Are there anything we need to add, table tonight?
Mr. Chairman, I would
Yes,
like
sir.
to add, we got our sheriff in the house tonight, and always good to have our sheriff and law enforcement in here. Want to get him a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to talk about what some of the things he want to bring up in the 2024 year.
Okay.
So I would like to add him anywhere on the agenda.
I put him number 7, manager report number 8.
Okay, and when you do your chairman report, I want to just do something to tag on to that regarding affordable housing.
Okay. All right, that it?
Yes, sir.
Is that a motion to adopt?
So moved.
That second?
Second.
Motion second to adopt. The gentleman might all have time to consider. All in favor, what? Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. Thank you. Mr. Attorney, our first item is public comment.
Chris Pusey. Good evening, everybody. I had been to see you in November. We had a Garrison Ridge project that was approved by the planning board, and it was pulled off of the agenda for the November County Commissioners because we were going to look at a new water ordinance. This same project, since it was pulled, we've been trying to figure out how to get it back on your agenda and what we needed to do in order to get it back in front of you. One of the things we were asked to do was sign a hold harmless agreement. That was done. And once that was done, then we were able to get back on the agenda. I've been working with planning, with Public Works, with the county manager's office, trying to figure out just exactly what we need to do to get this project moving. And we were supposed to be on the agenda for this evening, and it was pulled again. I have not been able to get an answer as to why it was pulled or what we need to do in order to help get this project moving, or I'm looking for answers as to what's going on so I can report back to these fellas that have entrusted me to move this project.
We have the planner to get with you and sit with you. We get with her this week.
Is it the planner, Mr. Chairman, or was it Mr. McQueen that needed to talk with him?
It's one of them. I think Mr. McQueen.
But that's one of the problems now is I keep talking with Jackie, and she says to talk to
Mr. McQueen.
Mr.
Right.
McQueen, and when I talk to McQueen, he says this is not a land issue. I have nothing to do with rezoning. So I think there's some confusion. And I ask that if it's a rezoning matter that has nothing to do with utilities, please consider letting that move forward. The utilities are reviewed by the utility guys, and if there's a utility problem, we can be halted by them. But when there becomes cross correction, when planning is looking at utility items and county commissioners are looking at planning items, it gets to be a deadlock, and I feel like we've gotten a deadlock here.
We get them both in the same room. That'll work.
Yeah.
We do that this week.
Thank you.
Ms. Leandro?
Hi, guys.
Good evening.
Every month. How are y'all doing?
right.
I just got the agenda and saw that something's going to come up about the shelter, but I wanted to remind you, it's been 6 months this week
Yes, ma'am.
since we got the little thing, and we need to move forward with it. Our dogs have been cold and chilly and everything else, and people, if you are on Facebook, people are throwing them away left and right.
Yeah.
And we need to do something. It's been 6 months, so we need to get the project moving because I'm getting tired of waiting.
Well, I'm glad you're here. There's you that's be doing the construction, so you get a chance to maybe answer.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to be involved in what's going on because I'd like to help out if I can.
Yes, ma'am.
She's a good neighbor right now. I don't know what she might be. We don't get started.
I'm gonna be a bad neighbor. He's just mad because it's pretty green grass and I don't.
Mr. Ray?
My husband gets mad every time we go by his house and I say, see, he planted grass.
Mr. Chairman, I have invited Dr. Ray to come and speak with us on behalf of Maggie's Outreach. You and I had spoke with her on Saturday about some of the things she's doing in the program, and I thought this is really important that the community know about what she's doing in her program. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I thank you for this opportunity to share some new programs and services that are here in our county. The first one I would like to share, you all know or may not know that Maggie's Outreach for the past 5 years have been the intermediary agency with the Department of Adult Correction, and we have overseen the adult reentry program and been very successful each year. On October 1st, we had applied through OJJD, which we were one of 9 in the United States who received a grant for youth reentry. Youth reentry is something that is new in our state. It is part of the governor's, the previous governor's plan along with the new one. So what I wanted to bring to you is, and bring to our community, that we do have a juvenile reentry program here. I just spoke briefly with the sheriff to let him know what this program does as a highlight is once our juveniles touch the detention center for 5 days or more, and they are assessed, they are eligible once they touch the detention center before they're adjudicated, before they go to the magistrate. We get involved as soon as they are in a detention center. We cannot get involved if they're not in a detention center. However, once we get involved, we hold on to them even if they go into a YDC or detention center for anywhere from 9 months to 18 months. We still get them. When they come out, they are re-entering back to our county with services just like the adults. This service it covers the youth that are age 13 to 17, but not the ones who are now finding themselves, the new House bill, I think it's 834 that just passed, that also reduced the bill where individuals were raised to age. That has been washed out again. So this is a supplement through the Office of Juvenile Justice, and we have it in our county, and we're able to serve youth. We're funded for the next 3 years, and I believe that having any of you to be a part of our collaborative process in seeing the needs and being a part of that assessment, identifying youth that comes by your way, even in our school, our community, so that we can eliminate recidivism with our youth. So I do have brochures to share with the community, as well as all of you have the brochures there. Again, it was just funded not only for Hoke, but we're also funded for Scotland. We've been before the Scotland Juvenile Justice. We've been before the Scotland County Commissioners as well. So these dollars are shared. There's not a balance. So wherever we can put the most services, that's who will utilize those dollars. I want that to be known that it is for Scotland and Hoke. So we will be between the two counties.
Let me ask a question. What do we do when we have someone that may be eligible for this program?
It is a referral. We've been meeting with Mr. Randy Jones, who is the court counsel for juveniles here in Scotland and in Hoke. We've also met with the detention in Cumberland, and we've been meeting around the state. If individual is arrested and they're, like I said, if they're there for 5 or 10 days, they may go to an initial assessment with the magistrate and or the juvenile councils. They can then be eligible, but it has to be through that. And we'll also be working with their families because there's no housing for juveniles returning, so there's a big need to reintegrate the families so that they will not have a problem bringing them back into their homes. So that is a major piece, education, getting them back while they're incarcerated. We will be reaching into the detention centers and ensuring that we're keeping them on point with the school and that the school is still providing them with the educational services that they need. So I want you to be aware of that, and just, I have brochures about, everyone knows about the new trade school that started last year. I will be for you in April for funding. We have been successful with that, and we're still working towards educating and providing trades. We are one trade school that's within 100 miles of the next trade school that's in Charlotte and Greensboro. So although there are trades in our universities, there are no trade schools that individuals can come to and get credentials and get jobs, and all these construction jobs, construction safety. So right across the street on Elwood is the Road to Success Trade School. The information is here. Welcome to go online. We're looking for individuals who will be instructors, who will be certified. We are accredited with the National Accredited Organization, where everyone that comes to the trade school will receive credentials. They have a card. They can take it out on a job site. Anywhere they go, we'll look it up, and they will have the credentials and be eligible for an employment as well as construction safety across the spectrum of construction. So if you have any questions, but I thank you for the opportunity to share what we're bringing to the county to make our county better and more efficient through the workforce development. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ray. Appreciate it.
Brady? That's it. I think one more sign. Didn't you sign up?
That's you can speak.
Okay, that's late. Okay. Thank you. All right, that's it. Good. Have a planning matter. Mr. Turner, Mrs. Jackie, Larry?
Next item, Mr. Chairman, is a general use rezoning by Pioneer Companies, Retz and Companies, Inc. The property is located at 3879 Aberdeen Road. The rezoning request is to highway commercial. It's currently in a neighborhood business district. Ms. Jackie.
Brady always seems to have what I'm going to say down. But good evening.
Good evening.
And like Mr. Hunt said, this is the application for rezoning, and it's the property beside 3879, which is currently our Dollar General. The property is more identified by the tax pin number 694050001009. And I have Mr. Greg, who is an associate with Pioneer Company and Rice and Company, and he has a presentation to present.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Jackie. Thank you, Commissioners. As she said, my name is Greg. I work for Retz and Companies. We're a commercial developer out of West End and Pinehurst. I have a short presentation today. I'll keep it very brief, as it looks like you have other items on the agenda. But just wanted to draw your attention to a couple of items for our rezoning request. As Ms. Jackie says, we're requesting a zoning classification of highway commercial, as currently now neighborhood business. As a developer, the first three things I look at, and Commissioners, I won't educate you, but some community members might not be aware. We really look at three things. Is it compatible with the future land use plan? Is it consistent with the neighborhood? And does it cause any detriment to the immediate community? As you can see now, this is a GIS blowout, and basically what you're looking at, the colors are the current zoning. I don't know how to use the pointer. Oh, look at me, Miss Jackie, I already messed it up. There we go. So if you'll, and my pointer is not
There it
cooperating.
is. It's up there.
Oh,
No, it's not working on the screen.
not working on the screen. May I walk over here? I'm pretty loud myself.
You got to put it on the screen.
So
won't
if
show.
you'll notice, the property here
Yeah,
that we're
it won't show on the
requesting is here in the hashed neighborhood business. Across the street, that I is industrial, which is a more severe use as far as zoning is concerned. But what I wanted to show you is, if you'll notice on Highway 211, the red is what is already highway commercial. So that commercial corridor is already starting to form. Now, there's a lot of different reasons for that. One of the biggest reasons is because of on the next slide, for all of you that live on that road, travel that road, or are familiar, they're preparing a massive NCDOT project. It's going to become 4 lanes. With that becomes a grass median. That's going to limit the ability for people to take rights and lefts, as far as there's going to be U-turns on that road, but it's going to be treated more like a highway road as opposed to its currently used for travel. I highlighted here, again, the grass median, but also the traffic counts. When we distinguish between neighborhood business and highway commercial, it's really about the amount of traffic. Neighborhood business designation is really more for someone who is a destination shopper. Dollar General is a prime example of more neighborhood business. You pull in, you got multiple people coming during the day. When you get highway commercial and the 2 and 4 lane roads, NCDOT doesn't prefer constant traffic, and those are really more situate themselves for a highway commercial designation, because this is not somewhere where people will go to shop and pulling in and out. There's very less traffic on highway commercial. Hope one of my slides didn't make it. The only other thing I would draw to your attention is we also did the Dollar General on the corner there, and when we developed the Dollar General as a client has deed restrictions for itself. And what I mean by that is we're asking for upzoning from neighborhood business to highway commercial, but that doesn't mean that all highway commercial uses are still in play here. That parcel already has existing deed restrictions. And I bring that to your attention is because one of the reasons some people shy away from highway commercial is because they're worried about noxious uses coming in. They don't want a video game arcade coming next to a residential neighborhood. They don't want a vape shop, or they don't want all these different uses that they see are going to damage the integrity of their neighborhood. If you'll notice, this parcel already has 24 additional restrictions above highway commercial that it will not be allowed to. If you have any general questions, I'm happy to ask any general questions, but that is all I prepared for the presentation tonight.
Do you have an idea what might go on the location?
No, sir. So with this, as a developer, it's great if we could come in here and tell you. We do have some people that are interested, but until we get survey, environmental testing, geotech to see what building it can support, we really won't know. So I could tell you who's interested in it, but then I wouldn't want you to use that to a judgment call and then it not be that person and you look at me as telling you something that was not the truth. So
We would do that.
All righty. Any questions? Jackie, anything from you?
Anyone else here to speak?
Anyone else? Ray?
Anyone else wishing to speak? This is a public hearing. Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, close the public hearing, by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. What wish of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I got a question.
Okay?
What was I can't see it on here, what was the recommendation of the planning board? The staff recommend approval? Yeah. So the planning board voted to approve it also? Yes, sir. Okay, that's what I was asking, yeah. Okay.
Okay. What wish of the board?
Mr. McCollum, you can.
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve. All that time consider on favor by the word aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. Thank you for your commercial. That means tax dollars on the way. Thank you. We love commercial. You make sure you tax right and enough.
Planning matter.
Thank you. We like that. Commercial bring tax dollars, folks, and keep the tax rate low. All righty. Consent ABC, wish of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve consent items 4A, B, and C.
Second?
Second.
Motion second, all right, time to consider. All in favor with aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yeah.
I have it. Okay. All righty. Hoke County and Shelter Span Project. You ready to go, big man? Make us happy. Make us proud of you.
I'll try. I'll try.
All right. Let me start off by me start off by doing this. Because I feel bad that you have to pick anything. This is my information.
I've been doing it for
You can email me, you can call me, we'll update you with whatever you want to know, okay? When it comes to the project of the animal shelter.
I've been
No
doing it
problem.
for 10 years, so
No
they'd be
problem at all.
lost without me.
But, no, okay, so, as you all know,
Matt.
I did not realize it was 6
State your
months.
name first for us. And who you with?
Matthew Carvel, Finance Manager for J&K.
Okay, all right, okay.
So, I didn't quite realize that it was 6 months ago. I'll be
6 months this week.
I'll be honest with you. It doesn't seem like it was that long since we were here.
Just call me if you want to know.
It doesn't seem like it was that long ago that we were here, but I assure you we have been working behind the scenes, and we've had several meetings with our leadership team internally and in turn with the animal shelter director, some people from the city, some other division heads, to try to collaborate and make sure that we are understanding the need of the animal shelter, the ask from the community, and we are delivering on a product that essentially is going to bring value. Okay, so when we put together, our initial charitable donation, we don't want to just do anything. We want to make sure that what we're delivering is specific, realistic, and makes sense for what the need is. So in the presentation, you can see, obviously, that was 6 months ago. My beard is a little longer. Very good. So J&K has elected to choose the animal shelter. And the reason we've done that is because we understand that there is a need in our community for animals that have been underserved a little bit as the area has grown. The community is growing, there's more households, there's more pets, and unfortunately with that becomes a greater need for some care to be provided. So we were proud and happy to donate up to $200,000 to the project for the expansion of the animal shelter. And as I say, we have been working diligently to try to get this project off the ground. As you know, this is the current animal shelter as it sits right now. Some of you may have visited, some of you may have visited, some of you may not. There is an interior section and there is an exterior section. So the exterior section is currently open to the elements. There are quite a few kennels in that area, sheltering dogs that are currently affected by climate changes and the hot and the cold, etc. So when we met with the animal shelter director, he gave us his vision, explained what he wanted to do, and we tried to make sure that we could get the absolute most.
Get the wish list.
Yeah, so exactly, it was a wish list of items that he felt would most benefit the facility as it is now. So in doing so, we have come up with a plan. We were quite a ways down the road with our plan. But essentially what we are going to do at the shelter is we are going to enclose the current exterior part of the building to give those animals greater protection from the elements during the wintertime and during the summertime. But in addition to that, we are going to build another section off of the back of there, which is going to be another secure enclosed area with interior and exterior run functionality for the animals. So in that section, there's going to be, I think there was 18 additional kennels. And what the animal shelter personnel told us is that they needed an area to house aggressive and or sick animals, and to securely keep them away from general public when the general public could go in to view the other adoptable animals that are in the facility. So this is essentially what we have come up with. It's an enclosure of the existing external area, and the addition off of the back of that with secure access for the animal shelter personnel to be able to go in and out of that area with what is a guillotine door system to separate between the interior and exterior. So exterior will be just a grass run, caged in, interior obviously just kenneled, guillotine door in between to be able to raise up and let down so that the workforce of the animal shelter can navigate in and out of both sides, front and rear access safely if the animals are aggressive, scared, and are not wanting to be near anybody, and to try to keep any incidents down in the animal shelter. So you can see some renderings on the screen. It'll give you an idea of what it's going to look like when it's finished. So just a 3D image there. You can see kind of a secure doorway going into a simple corridor. Kennels either side. There is a wash basin section in there and some storage area. And then, of course, you can access the kennels from both sides, from the outside and from the inside. We have completed essentially all of the design at this point. From a designing standpoint, from a budgetary standpoint, we committed to the $200,000. We wanted to make sure that we came as close to that as we could, and make sure that the project got the best value we could provide to it. So on the next couple of pages, you see a breakdown of the estimate running through as we delivered to the wishes of the director of the animal shelter. You can see that we have run slightly over the pledged amount. We're working internally to see what we can do with that, to see if we can kind of value engineer maybe some things down and bring it back down again to within the committed amount. Or we'll look at some other options. Maybe we can absorb part of that cost because we're committed to the project. We'll think about some options there and present them at a different time.
You committed to 200,000.
We committed to
Over
200,000.
budget by 35,000, so it's like
Correct.
235,000.
Correct.
So the county could possibly pitch in and,
Yes, that would be very helpful.
okay.
Yes.
All right, okay,
Yes, indeed.
okay.
Now, the big challenge that we encountered, and what has not necessarily stalled the project, but what has caused us to have to go back and look at some other items is just as we were about to present the final plan for approval, we were contacted by the environmental health personnel who informed us that at the turn of the year, there'd been some changes to how the state regulations work as it pertains to animal waste at animal shelter facilities. So where we had first intended to simply tap into the existing septic system, we were informed that that is actually now not permissible. And so it kind of made us take a step back, and we had to reevaluate how that plan was going to look. We have gone out and done some preliminary investigation into the different types of septic systems that would be permissible under the new guidelines, and have been in contact with a couple of our engineering partners to see what that looks like in terms of cost. And unfortunately for the project, it is quite a sizable cost to make a environmentally compliant system based on what we've been told. Now, of course, everybody here is aware that we don't specialize in building animal shelters, right? So you'd have to forgive us for perhaps maybe missing the mark on that one, because it's not what we do on a day-to-day. So when we went to research it, we priced it out. We got an estimate of what it would cost approximately to build, and at first glance, it is actually over half of what our pledged budget was for the project. For a full design and installation of a compliant septic system. When I spoke to the engineering partners and explained what we were doing, they came back and reassessed their initial budgetary amount for it when they realized what we were trying to do for the county and for for the animals. They came back and they reduced what their original quotation was for it, but it's still somewhere between $65,000 and $100,000 for the septic system. So we are here today to present that feedback to you, and essentially let you make a determination on how you want to process that information. Of course, we've pledged what we've pledged. So if you want us to build a septic system that doesn't attach to anything, we could do that. Or the other option is we keep our plan as is and let you decide if you want to vote to contribute some money to the cause and develop the septic system. Is essentially where we are at. But
So Matt.
Yes.
just, I know Ms. Landro was saying that it's been 6 months.
Yes.
So I want the public to know that the 6 months was not a waste of time. It was when you all hit that snag, the environmental snag, that you have to take that very seriously.
Yes.
And so it took some going back and forth, doing some research and get things done, because when you guys was ready to pull the trigger and start building, then that's when that came up. So,
Absolutely.
So they was still working, but we had to hit that snag that we had to go back and address.
yes, and because we aren't 100% familiar on the new regulations as they pertain to environmental dog waste septic systems, our typical engineering companies that we utilize when we're building out, on our own projects, they don't actually do that. So when we had to, in turn, find a company that would, that's capable of making such a system,
Right.
essentially, and, designing a system and installing a system like that.
Right.
And of course, there were a couple of different options presented, as to how you could kind of maybe navigate around this issue, but we didn't want to put the animal shelter in a position that we felt where they were agreeing to something that essentially they couldn't do from a state environmental standpoint. So we don't want to put them in a position where they're set up to fail, and then all of a sudden someone comes down and looks at that, and it's not the right thing. So, again, we will defer to you to decide how you want to proceed with that aspect and trying to navigate past that.
Let's talk about a holding tank. For simple reason, environmental. When you dog wash for fleas and animals, we cannot put that into our system. That's special treatment for that. And that's why you couldn't do it with a regular septic tank.
They did offer a solution for like an exterior holding tank, but an exterior holding tank would include a lot of long-term expenses for the county.
It would have to have someone to
Yeah,
pump
it was
it.
an alternative option, but it was a very expensive long-term expense.
If you do a holding tank and pump it
Yes.
Yes,
and carry it to a facility that can handle that tight material.
Yes.
If not that, if you actually build a tank there, you're going to have a certified person there
Yep.
that can manage that type system. And which means full-time employees that can manage that type of stuff. So I'm saying that probably the cheaper way to do is build a holding tank, find a facility that is able to take that waste, environmental waste, and maybe dump it once every 6 months or whatever time it takes. That's probably going to be the best way to do that.
So from just our, and this was, like Matt said, we are not expert in this. The expert opinion that we
Yeah.
took from the engineers that we talked to said in a long term, that will end up costing almost double what the septic tank would cost.
But having someone certified to run the septic tank.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I got
sir.
a question if you're finished.
Yes, sir.
My question is, you say when you wash for fleas and things like that, it has to go into a
A special.
special, where's it going now?
So it's going into a septic tank now, but because there's the new regulations by the state,
Regulations.
apparently if you do any expansion, it has to do to the new regulations.
So if we don't do any expansion, we can keep our system like we got it?
Yes.
Okay.
For right now, yeah. But if you do, it's grandfather in.
Yes.
But if you,
grandfather in, but anytime you renovate that place,
I understand what you're saying, but what I'm hearing is that there's $200,000 been donated. You're $35,000 over on the building of it, and now you got almost $100,000 septic tank system that we got to put in. That's something I'm gonna have to think about, putting in $100,000 septic tank system for a kennel. I'm gonna have to think about that. I can't make that decision. I hope y'all, we ain't making that decision tonight, are we?
No, they came and bring it to us for a presentation.
Yeah,
I just wanted to be clear.
yeah.
We just came to present,
Okay,
what we've.
thank you.
What we've been doing, where we were at in the process.
One other question, what's the name of the company that priced this septic system for
Agri
you?
Waste.
Yeah,
It's
AWT.
AWT,
Is that a holding tank
North
system?
Carolina? They in North Carolina?
They're out of Raleigh.
Out of Raleigh?
Durham.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's the system, not holding tank, correct?
So they priced it both ways.
Okay,
So initially, they told us it would be about $100,000 for the system with a $20,000 design, or a $25,000 design.
Okay.
Then they came back after I explained what we were doing, and they said, and in fairness to them as well, we had a high-level discussion on it. They hadn't seen any plans, they didn't know where it was, they hadn't seen anything. So after I had the Zoom call with them, I sent them designs, what we were planning to do. They looked at the square footage, they looked at how many kennels, they figured out how many gallons per minute, and they did their thing from an engineering standpoint. And they came back and they said, design and install a system, a fully fledged working system that you don't have to, pump out and remove, is about $65,000 to $100,000. If you wanted to go with a holding tank that you then have to pump out and remove the waste from, the price difference was not that much. It was something like $45,000 to $80,000. So it was really a $20,000 flux on whether you're going to remove the waste continuously or if you're going to just put a proper system in that just deals with the whole thing. And again, it's not something that we had anticipated
Right.
coming across, and so we've been working, like I said, behind the scenes to try to come up with a plan to figure out how to move past that problem. But as we stand now, this is where we're at. I mean,
Right.
I'm trying to look at it both ways, but I think the holding tank in the long run is going to be cheaper for a simple reason. You don't have an employee who's certified all the time to run that
you
facility.
do not need to have a certified employee, but you do have to continuously remove the waste
With a holding tank.
forever,
Yeah.
indefinitely.
So if you're doing
So-
the actual in-ground septic tank, it's just, you're doing every few years a removal of the waste. If you're doing the holding tank on the exterior side, it sounds like it's a couple times a year that you're having to remove that waste. And it sounds like it's a costly removal. We're not experts in it, this is just from the engineer's perspective of this.
Question, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Say we did the holding tank that the chairman is recommending, and we have some money in our budget we want to just take and create the final permanent system. Do we have enough room to transfer to the permanent system?
That's an AWT question.
Oh, it is, okay. Got it.
Yeah, I can definitely reach out to them
I got
and
you.
let you know, but I couldn't tell you if the pumping system can be converted into a full system at a later date. I couldn't.
Right, because the cost-wise, like you're saying, that'd be cheaper with the holding. But then, because of the long-term and longevity of this thing, because we're gonna continue to grow as a county, and we're gonna continue to have animals that we're gonna have to protect and take care of. So we just can't abandon our animals, no matter what. So we're gonna have to figure out a permanent solution. So I just wanted to kind of weigh both options as we go back and talk among ourselves.
And don't stop looking. Maybe tie your engineer down a little bit closer and see how tight you can get them.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to work with you all to tie you down.
Yep.
Out of that 35,000 miles, you say it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question too.
Okay, quick.
I think we can really work that out. Thank you.
The guidelines that change at the top of the year, is anyone able to provide those to us?
So we were given that by Jason from the county.
Yeah.
Environmental.
Jason Likens.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can send
I want to see if we can provide that to us. Because if both of them are septic tanks, are you aware of the difference between the septic tanks?
No, he just told us there was different regulations, and then that's what gave us the idea to go to engineer and ask questions.
Because I guess what I'm wondering is the new regulation may talk to the size of the leach fields or something like that. Maybe we can be added on to the current one. Did he say for sure that you could not in any way use the current
So that
septic
was,
tank?
because that was our original plan, was to connect to the original, and we beat the nail on the head multiple times with him on that, trying to get that, because we knew this septic system was gonna be an additional cost to eat into what we were bringing in for the donation. And we didn't want to take anything away from the expansion to have to put in the septic. So we went back and forth multiple times trying to get a way for the system there to work.
I had several Zoom calls with myself, Jason, and Andrew to try and brainstorm how to maybe make that work a little better or more efficiently without spending so much money. But ultimately, what it came down to was that whatever you do, you're open to state inspection. So you don't want to, one of the options was you could put a regular conforming septic system in, right? That's obviously significantly cheaper, but you could not put any medicated stuff down in the plumbing, and so when I was talking to them, I was like, I can't imagine a situation where you can't bathe the dog that's got fleas or ticks, and you're going to put a medicated shampoo on them to clean their fur, and then all of a sudden, what are you going to do with the shampoo, right? So now you've got the medicated shampoo being washed down, and you can't do that, right? So if you do that, and they come and they test your holding tank, and all of a sudden, you've got this, this chemical that's not supposed to be there, you're leaving yourselves open to a problem. So we didn't want to set it up so that someone's going to have an issue in the future.
I mean, I would like to, I would like to hear more details about that, because in that case, I see the ability to have a normal, regular septic tank, which is considerably cheaper, and then have a room that's created specifically for washing the animals and doing specific things where you can have a holding tank. A room specifically for washing. I'm trying to figure out a way to keep this on track, because it's a sticker shock. When we hear, first of all, we're planning on having a building built for $200,000, and none of us knew about the septic tank issue. Now we're talking about additional $1,000, and the windows aren't included. And I know the windows not much, but it's not included in this budget either. I just want to keep this train running. I know there's a lady behind you that wants to keep this rolling too.
Yeah,
but I want to talk to the gentleman from the health department. At some point, I want to hear exactly what he's saying.
Commissioner Thomas, will you consider just tabling this to either a month out or 2 weeks out?
Yeah, I think we need more information about our options. I think we need more information.
I can get you guys that information from Jason, and I'll shoot it to everyone.
Yeah, I can 30 minutes night. Yeah, let's see what all our examples, what we can do.
Maybe, Miss, you good with doing a table?
Yes.
We're
Yes.
definitely open to giving the information to speak to our engineer too.
Let's bring Jason third Monday night, please.
Okay, will do.
And all this we're talking, none of that has anything to do with the one building. There's one building that you're just closing in, right?
So I think that would be okay.
So that's a separate project, that's not dispatching,
Yes.
you're just putting,
Correct.
there's one building, so that has nothing to do with it.
Anything that's pre-existing that's over
Right.
there, I don't believe is affected.
So all this we're talking about has nothing to do with that. So, I want to make sure that we're on the same page, that that can move forward.
I'm just not aware how he's handling that waste now with that one. I think it is going to the septic, but it could also be going to a holding tank. Because I do know that was.
That shouldn't matter, should it?
It shouldn't, as long as we can connect right to what's already previously connected.
You shouldn't have to do any connections for that one, because you're just closing it in, right?
So if we close it in and we didn't have to do the expansion, that's not gonna affect?
As long as we don't do that expansion, because I think part of it is.
But to get an answer, you may want to get Jason here.
So
Yeah.
if you guys want us not to expand the building, just to close what we got there, we're not gonna rent to this application.
Oh, we're going to do both. Yeah, we're going to do both. I'm just saying, this is a two-part project. One is closing in a space that's open to the elements now, and the other one is building a new building, or putting a new building behind it. And I'm just saying that one where you close it in, that shouldn't affect the septic issue, because you're not expanding it.
But anytime you expand over a certain amount, you have to do the, to follow the regulations.
Right.
I would assume, at least on our perspective, I wouldn't think it would. I would think that would be more of a Jason
Let's get
question.
Jason here.
I'll get Jason.
Yeah.
Let's
Mr. Chairman, I'm making
Give
a
me a
motion
motion.
that we table this issue to our next meeting, which is the third Monday night.
and have Jason present.
Yeah, and have Jason from Environmental to come and give us a presentation.
That second? Motion second, we table this to third Monday night, having Jason be at 7 o'clock to give us the rundown on this. All had time to consider, all in favor, would aye.
Aye.
Opposed, I have it. Thank y'all, guys.
Again, thank y'all for your contribution of 200,000 as well.
Absolutely.
They up next, right?
They didn't
Yeah,
put it on.
y'all right back with the, okay. Our next project is presentation Teletown Fire Department.
Yeah.
Right back. Okay, right back.
Let's start off with Mr. Herman McCullum to speak first, and then you all speak behind him, please.
Let's do it.
We want to speak after.
Mr. Chairman, is this FYI information, just for information?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before Jamal and his group come up, I'd like to come up and take just a minute. We've been for Tyler Town to let them know how much we greatly appreciate your time, your effort, and everything you've done for us. Want to thank the county commissioners too for being there for us and letting me vent, if they call it, because a lot of time it got frustrating. I speak for Tyler Town community tonight. Want to thank J and K for their contribution to our fire department. We have been to banks. We've been all around looking for, trying to get someone to help us out. And one day, we ran up on a young man, and he said, I heard y'all, I like what y'all doing over there. I want to help y'all. And that was Jamal. And I want to thank him for what he's done. He don't know how much he done when he told me that he was going to help us. I want to break dance, but I didn't know how. So, thank you, commissioners. Thank you, Jamal, for all you've done for me, man. Love you.
Mr. McCollum, we don't get too many thank you. Thank you. Even I did, we earned one. Don't get many. Thank you. We'd love to hear them, but we don't get that many.
Let us know what you're doing, please. Matt, you doing this presentation as well?
Yes, I'm doing this presentation as
Go
well.
ahead, Matt.
Sure. Sure, why not? So,
Actually, better than mine.
yeah. So we are actively trying to make sure that we are involving ourselves and entrenching ourselves in the right types of community products that are supporting the right department heads for Hoke County as Hoke County continues to grow and continues to expand. We were approached by the Tylertown Fire Department, who had expressed that they had had a need for several years for their firehouse up there on Dockbound Road. And they've attempted to, in the past, expand the building, renovate the building, unsuccessfully. They haven't been able to secure any kind of funding or grant money, and they've submitted applications for such things to the state, and unfortunately, they've never come to fruition. So Jamal and other executive leaders at J&K got together and decided that they would like to do something for the Tylertown Fire Department to help support them. So right off the back of the animal shelter that we are still very actively working on, we are very proud to donate $500,000 worth of services to the Tylertown Fire Department. Okay. So what we plan to do with this venture for the community is they've expressed the need. They have various fire trucks and fire equipment, apparel, machinery that currently has nowhere to be housed. And it is sitting out in the elements. The water freezes, the tanks get damaged, the fire equipment gets damaged, and what they've expressed the need for is a large, multi-purpose utility building where they can house and park all of their fire vehicles. So that is what we plan to do. Mr. Chris, are you going? Okay. So we are going to erect for the fire department a 4,000 square foot multi-use building with sliding roll-up garage doors that are wide enough that they can park in multiple fire trucks simultaneously side by side. So in the event of emergencies and whatnot, they can get those trucks out of that building quickly and efficiently.
So the engineer, I think they sent you the wrong one, Chris. It's supposed to be 4 doors.
Yeah.
And there.
It's 3 here.
So there's
Yeah.
3 there, so we changed it to fit 4 trucks, and then it's space for the equipment between each trucks.
But it's the 4,000 square feet, correct?
4,000 square feet.
4,000 square feet, correct.
You can get 6 trucks in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Through the 4 doors easy.
Yes, okay. Good.
We put up big doors to fit more, trucks there.
Yes, big double wide, not regular garage doors, big super size.
I got you.
Super sized garage doors.
Big doors, okay. Big doors.
So they will be able to protect and house their equipment, in a way sheltered from the elements. And again, it's just another way for J&K to give back to the community, help support our local heroes that are working as part of the fire crews here, and help support them and so they get the services that they need in the buildings that they need. So that is something that is coming very soon down the pipe. We've already started working on it. I've been in pretty regular contact with the guys over there, working on designing some site plans and some other various things to make sure that we can kind of get this thing moving quickly. It should theoretically be a simpler project. But again, all of these things come with their sets of complexities.
Right.
So
My understanding is you all have already ordered the material, you ordered the building. So do you have an idea when that would arrive, the building itself?
We already ordered the materials, everything is ready to go. We didn't have a building permit. And we need your help here. That will be helpful.
I think we can help with that. I think we can help with that. I think we can help with that part. That's just a piece of paper, we can do that one.
Okay.
So if we appreciate if you waive the fee and get us that permit, it would be great.
That's just a piece of paper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need your calls.
And this is for the community. I just want to say this. Once you start and you break ground,
Yes, sir.
and I know you cannot because of the weather and different things may happen, what's the anticipated goal to have this completed? Just the anticipated goal.
Well, if we get permits, we're gonna put it in schedule. Schedule takes 2 weeks from permits. So after 2 weeks, depends on.
Time to get the permit.
Yes,
Gotcha.
when we get the permits, we'll send it to our, team. They'll put it in schedule. It takes 2 weeks. We'll set everything. So if we get the permits, let's say mid of February, we'll start 1st of March.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm thinking 1st of March, that's the goal. If we get the permits in a week from now or 2 weeks, we're gonna shoot for 1st of March.
And then anticipation completion, roughly.
Well, it's 6 months for a building like this.
Okay.
If we didn't,
I want the community to hear this.
Yeah.
Now, the point of contact is Chief McCullum
Yes,
and
sir.
also
Yeah, we've been
Joel
contacting-
Gilchrist.
yes,
Those
sir.
are point of contact.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
I have to ask a question, Mr. Chairman. Any new septic tank, guys?
Oh, no. That's the,
I have to ask him, so
Let's go into that 500.
I have to ask the question. I'm sorry, I got to ask.
we do, we have a problem with that.
I have to ask the question now.
We have a problem with that, but you know what I said? I said to Chief here, I said, you're gonna take care of this problem.
There is a leach field.
There is a leach field behind it.
Which means,
We have to move the septic
Yeah,
field.
yeah, okay.
But the building we building doesn't have no bathrooms. But there is a field there.
What is that?
The bathrooms is in the old building. We're gonna renovate the old building.
Okay. I was
This
about to say, wait a minute
this
now.
building we
Okay.
building is for the trucks and for the
Gotcha.
equipment. So,
Need to be clear with everyone. The old building's gonna remain there, and then later on.
It's gonna be
We'll
renovated.
be able to go in there if the community wants to, tear the old building down and add new to it. But for right now, we can't tear all those buildings down because we wouldn't have nowhere to put our trucks.
the way we did the plan,
Be in the old section.
well, we could use build this building first. Use the old building, renovate it, but, the bathrooms and do a little bit of renovation there to use the bathrooms. And then in the future, to tear the old building down because it's very old. Tear it down and then extend another 4,000 square feet is already in the design. So in the future, when they want to, to expand, they already have all the plans.
So this building is going to go right beside the old building. How close?
No, behind it.
It's going to go right behind the
Right
old building?
behind it.
Okay.
And when you tear the old building, it's going to extend, to go all the way to where the
Okay.
new building is.
This building be coming off, facing Bridges Road.
That's right.
The whole building is facing
Doc Brown, that's
Yes.
right.
So we plan it for now and the future.
That's smart planning.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I just take a minute. Me and, I call him Deacon McCollum, even though the chief, I call him Deacon, that's how I recognize him as the Deacon. Me and him and Joel Gilchrist and the fire department talking for a long time, ever since we've been trying to get the fire department back up and running. We've been working together. Once we got that taken care of, you all went out there and got an outstanding job on your rating. Got one of the best ratings in the county. And now it's time for you all to have a building. And so me and you talked about that, Deacon, about getting this done. And I said there was one person we can go talk to who is a partner in the community. And I tell everybody, you cannot build a county off the backs of people. You can't make them pay taxes and tax them to death. But you got to build with partnerships. And J&K has been a good partner to Hoke County. I don't care what you see on Facebook. I don't care what you see anywhere. J&K has been a good partner to Hoke County. And what I'm saying to you, there's no developer, nobody that we've dealt with over the years has given $200,000 to the animal shelter. Nobody. And they're going to give you some more. And there's nobody in all of our fire departments across our county, Jim Davis, there's nobody that has given $500,000 to any fire department in Hoke County. Nobody. If those, y'all tell me who did that.
You talking to those on Facebook?
So that's what I'm trying to tell you all. Do not go out here and listen to the nonsense. We are a community of African American, Native Americans, white, Asian, all. We make up one great community. But we're better when we work together.
Yes.
We're better when we work together.
Yes.
And that's what I like about what we're doing now. We're working together. And I'm so glad me and him had that conversation with you at the fire department. And he said he liked what you were doing.
Thank you.
And he wanted to help.
He did.
That's what he said. And that brought us here today with $500,000.
Don't stop.
I appreciate you.
We're not going to stop. We'll be here.
That's right. And Mr. Chairman, we got to thank William Kershaw. We got to thank Benny Graham. We got to thank Dr. Bronson. We got to thank all these, Joe, all these people here in the community, Clayton Singletary, all of them who helped raise this in this community because they're the bread and butter of this community. And so if it weren't for these people, we wouldn't be here.
That's right.
And so we want to thank you all for not giving up on Tyler Town.
Thank you.
Good job.
And I'm glad we can do it and keep the tax rate low. That way no senior at no time have to move out their homes. As we get older and our income get less, we don't need high taxes. So that way this does not add to our tax rate. Commercial building and adding and donation and grants, it really helps us all. So, J&K, thank you for helping our community.
You're welcome, sir.
Because the house to put out could be mine one night, you never know.
I know, I don't pay the tax.
That's right. So again, thank y'all. Any more comments from Tyler Town?
Thank you, community.
Give yourself a hand, community.
Chairman, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
From the manager?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you guys give me a motion to waive their building permit?
The manager has a request, make it.
Can I get a motion to waive their building permit for Tyler Town?
So move.
Hold up, Commissioner Thomas. Could you add the animal shelter too? Are there any fees for that?
That's my county building, I don't need
So there won't be
that.
no fees on that one?
No, I
Okay.
never.
Go ahead with your motion.
I never need
Commissioner.
that.
Make your motion, Commissioner. So move. The second, it's been motion and second that we waive the building permit fee and all fees on Tyler Town Fire Department. All fees.
All in favor, say the motion.
Hey, say that. I said all fees. Alan said,
Go ahead.
Alan said permit building fee. I said all fees.
All fees,
Carry the motion. Carry the motion.
all fees,
Carry the motion. Carry the motion.
clarify that?
Motion, you're second all.
Second all.
Motion makes, you're an all. All in favor, will I? Aye. Opposed? I have it. Oh, no. Thank you.
That goes over with it.
But I don't want y'all to leave yet. We got one more thing we want to talk to y'all about in the community before y'all leave.
Can y'all tell me who carried?
Go ahead, Mr. Who made that motion? Alan made the motion.
And that's seven.
McCollum seconded.
Yes.
And the word was all.
I don't know what all is.
The chairman changed the motion, don't worry about it, it passed.
Okay, thank you.
It's all.
Okay, as we move on tonight, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Jamal, for helping our community. Keep working. Keep the commercial coming, because we just love to put tax rate on it. Keep it coming. Thank you. At this time, we have a,
Yes, for that motion, I want you to know.
I voted for it.
yeah.
You vote for me?
Okay, Tony voted for the motion. It's unanimous now. It's unanimous, it's unanimous.
I heard it in the hallway.
That means wait, Tony, will that waive all motion plus give him 55 miles?
No, that ain't.
I heard the motion. All right. He heard, Sheriff, I hope he didn't hear me. He heard me. At this time, I move number 7 to number 8. Commissioner Vice Harrison had a statement you want to make?
Well, I want to make a statement regarding what's going on. Where's my buddy at? Chris Covington. As you all know, for the first time in the history of Hoke County, we are actually building some affordable housing. And so our first project was a million, maybe $1.4 million, give or take. So we're building 5 duplexes for 10 units. And it's off of CC Steel Road. You all might have seen them. You got a picture of them? Okay. Everybody know what CC Steel Road is?
Did we add?
Okay. So the county actually owns these homes. These are brand new homes. They're under construction right now. They're being built by J&K. And the county is growing so rapidly with our military community that sometimes the houses are outpricing some of our regular people. They can't really afford some of the new housing. So we want to bring in some additional houses. This is just phase 1. We got a big plan to bring more houses to this community from the county commission. So we got 10 units. When do y'all think they're going to be finished?
I think I saw that schedule yesterday. It was March, not yesterday, Friday. It was March 15th.
Okay, so when you get a chance, just drive down CC Steel Road, and you'll see these 10 units. And they're owned by the county, and they're for affordable housing. So we want to put our community in there. We're tired of people saying that even though we're growing and they're happy to see the growth, we don't want the housing market to outprice them where they have to move to Cumberland County or Scotland County. We want to keep them in Hoke County. So this is the first of many projects that the county is going to be doing. This is I think it's about a $1.4 million project. And then we, as the commissioners, we're going to create a housing authority. We're going to come up with an application because we've been getting phone calls and texts already about how can I apply for these homes. People are trying to apply to get in these homes. So they're doing that now, which we're going to come up with a system through our attorney and through our county manager on an application process. But I just want to keep y'all aware of what we're doing in the county because the chairman talks about Hoke County being the greatest county. We got to tell y'all why Hoke County is the greatest county. So we're doing that for our community, for our citizens right now, and it's going up. And the president of J&K just said by the end of March they should be ready to go.
And there's no donation on this. We're building this out of our pocket.
Are they for rent or sale? Will you be selling them?
We're not going to sell them. We're going to keep them in our inventory, but we want to have them like low rent, lower level. Yeah.
Rentable?
Yes.
Low income.
Based on low income, based on your and our county manager, and we got a new attorney coming on board. We want y'all to meet her as well, and they're gonna be that's the first project that she's gonna undertake when she come on board. I'm waiting for her to get started because we gotta get this one rolling. But that's just the first of many, and that's in the Town community, right there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. That will add a few dollars to your fire department, the value of them anyway. A few dollars, not many, a few of them anyway.
We'll pay that.
Yeah, all right, I'll pay taxes. All right, next we have the sheriff of Hoke County. Mr. Sheriff.
I promise you I won't be before you long.
All righty.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. Good afternoon, County Manager. Good afternoon, my lovely Hoke County citizens.
Clock, we can put them on there.
So just to give you guys a brief update of what's going on at your sheriff's office, whenever I was appointed in 21, I want to say we were sitting around maybe 130 personnel. As of today, we're at 155. Wow. And as you know, and we've been fully staffed.
Good.
For the last 2 years, to include my jail. And I've even, well, no, I'm gonna take the butt of it. I'm not gonna blame it on my employees because I'm the head. We're trying to hire people, and the county manager had to call me and say, Sheriff, you don't have any more positions. What do you mean? I was like, oh. So the other sheriffs that I talked with, they say, well, that's a good problem to have when you're trying to create positions because we're fully staffed.
Good.
Because as you guys probably don't know, neighboring towns and cities and counties, they're really, really short. And there's one thing that you don't want to be short of is law enforcement. Because the world is such a bad place now. People dealing with mental health and all other things that we're trying to combat on a daily basis. As you all also know that we're in the Hoke County Health Department that's been there twice as long as I've been alive. I don't know exactly when it was first built, but we've been in there a long time. And I will invite you to come by and see the renovations that we've done. And we've also taken some offices that were larger than others and did a partitions to split because we're running out of room drastically. If you ride by there, you see our cars. It's just like bumper to bumper, and it's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. I would ask you guys, me and the county manager, we've been talking. She's giving me some solutions. Let me tell you something about this county manager.
Uh-oh.
She has taught me so much.
Here we go.
She has gotten on me too. Sheriff, you don't have this money, so we got to look at other options. But I want to publicly say, Miss Lucida Edens, I appreciate everything that you've done for me.
I appreciate you too.
Being a young sheriff, not knowing a whole lot about how the budget works or whatever, I felt like that I can go before any of my sheriff friends in the commission meetings that we have and stand flat-footed and talk with confidence, and I appreciate that. Because as you said earlier, it takes a partnership.
Absolutely.
You know, there's the division thing, I fight against it. It takes all of us to come together because we're a village, we're a community, and we should work together.
We do.
So, long story short, we're growing, and if you guys know of any available room, just letting you know the potential problems that we're gonna, that I foresee running into, because I know you're gonna give me some more positions this year, which you always. I didn't say how many. I didn't say how many.
Go ahead, Sheriff. Go ahead,
I didn't
Sheriff.
say how many, but every year you guys give me positions because you understand the need of the community. The more rooftops, the more people, the more families, those 10 affordable homes that you're building, that's going to require potentially another officer. It's going to add to the additional 4,000 to 5,000 that's coming in per year. That's just a rough number. I don't know. We're just throwing it out there.
Right.
So it is my job to make you guys aware, not only you aware, but the citizens of county, because this is your tax dollars, of what's going on at the sheriff's office. And we are managing your money very, very well. We're taking care of the inmates because you're innocent until proven guilty. We've established a substance abuse program at our detention facility to help with those reentry folks, the folks that are early released, or we can get the bond reduced and get them into treatment facilities. We're doing that, and I can speak with you more on that also. Because a lot of these people just need, they just want a lending ear to talk with. That's all they need. And then you can prevent them from going back into the jail. So we're trying to work both sides. And if you look at it on our Facebook, you'll see the youth programs that we have. We're very active with the youth. And I invite you guys, Ms. Keisha Gill, she's very active, along with Ms. Harris and Portia. But all of them are really good about coming out, being involved with our youth. And I invite you guys, because a lot of people talk about it, but then when you open the door and you was like, okay, you want to come in, and you don't see them. So we're not about the verbiage and the talk, we're about action, right? Because our youth are our future, right? So, but we're a growing agency. It's a lot going on, and I could stand up here a whole lot longer, but I'm not, because Jamal has taken up everybody's time. But well, please be on the lookout for available space that we may need, because we are looking to add additional units to help protect the citizens of this county. And our deputy medic program is awesome. I've been to NC State Wake Forest Baptist to talk about the deputy medic program. That's first in the history of North Carolina to an agency to ever do something like this. And I also found out that it's very rare in the country what we have here at our sheriff's officers, deputies being cross-trained. Matter of fact, stand up, Lee Black. He's one of our first deputy medics, and what I mean by that is he he's a police officer, but he's also a paramedic too. So if something were to happen here, God forbid, he can go ahead and start giving life support measures before they happen.
Alan here
And that's what take care of you. Because we are, and along with the fire service, are the first line to get there before the ambulance a lot of the times. And we was on a call today, me and Chief. A lady went in a cardiac arrest, heart stopped beating at the airport. And who did you have there? Fire department, law enforcement, along with the EMS services. So it's all a collaborative effort to protect and serve our community. So again, thank you all for what you do. Everybody in this room, it's your dollars, your decisions, your advice. Thank you all for it. But whatever you can find to help house my guys until we can build that big, nice sheriff's office, please let me know.
Thank you. Sheriff, donation, $1 million donation. $1 million donation, huh? From Jamal, $1 million. Sure. Keep going up. The donation amount keep going up. That's right. Talk to me a little bit about ankle bracelet. What I want to know is this. I know we don't have that program here, but ankle bracelet is when you get someone in jail for less crime, picking up something, moving something, and they don't have the money to bond themselves out or anything to get themselves out. They have to stay in jail months until they can get out. Of course, at that point, the county's taking care of them, medical, feeding, and things. And some folks need to get out to get back to their jobs, but they can't bond themselves out. Don't have the money, you lose your job, you lose your house, you lose your car, you lose everything. And the crime is very small.
Right.
Very small crime. Picked up something, bumped somebody bumped you, whatever. Folks can sue you for any reason. And assault, folks can make up stuff to sue you for.
Come on, preacher, get to it.
And if you ain't got the security and the dollars to get out,
You'll take your time.
you'll sit there in that jail a long time.
That's right.
And then when you go to court, instead of him giving you some time, you done sit in jail the amount of time that he's gonna give you. Now you're free to go. Your job gone, your house gone, your car gone, your wife gone.
Careful.
Your wife going, she wants yours in the front.
So have you thought about even looking at the ankle bracelet that you can put on the ankle?
Well, we don't, that's above my pay grade.
Okay.
That's the courts.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, the substance abuse counselors that we have at the jail, they are like a liaison and they advocate for these people who
To get 'em out.
have like misdemeanors or whatever.
Yeah.
They're a voice. So long story short, I do have a person there at the jail to be a voice for those that are behind the glass to kind of help expedite that process.
Because please you get there, you're on your own. Nobody get you out. And you just take too long for
Hopefully they don't do what they did to get there the next time they
Yeah.
If
So,
you're in business and you're tired of people stealing your business, maybe a few days in jail might wake a few people up. You gotta be on the business end.
You're losing control, Jeff.
okay.
Losing control.
Thank you. Think about it. Okay.
Think about
You
it.
can't talk from the audience.
Oh, excuse me. On Wednesday at West Hoke Middle School at 6 o'clock, we're having a community forum. We have them they're for a year, and we go to each, we have 4 a year, and we have them at the different sectors of the county.
Good.
So on Wednesday at West Hoke Middle School at 6 o'clock, we're having a community forum at West Hoke Middle School.
Good.
Yep,
Sounds good.
that's the one of the 4 that we're having this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds good. All right, Mr. County Manager, your time.
Good evening, Chairman and Board of Commissioners. I need to talk to the board about the STRAP program. Come on up, Andrew, and talk to them about the STRAP program. Do you have that up for him to talk to? So I signed on with several of the county managers within the within the state to get the county on board with the STRAP program so that we could get reimbursed to take care of some of our stream flow rehabilitation in the county. So these are the streams that they will go after if the board is in agreement for us to do this. So go through it, Andrew.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm going to give an overview of the current project we have right now, as well as brief you on what the managers brought up. Last year, maybe November of '24, somewhere around there, the county received about $211,000 for the STRAP program. Now, as you all know, we've did this 3 or 4 years now, and become a little bit more difficult to do each year. The funding seems to be less. This year is a win like I haven't seen thus far. All the efforts were primarily focused out on Rockfish Creek, kind of from 17,000 feet below Davis's Bridge. There's not a big cross street to tell you, so I access the property over from Pittman. The guys did a phenomenal job. It's the first time using this company. I just want to show you a little bit about what happened there, and I want to go into talking about what the manager spoke about a little bit earlier. So this kind of gives you an idea of where that happened at. On the far right side where those pips are at, that's Davis's Bridge, and it winds and snakes, and that was the longest 17,000 feet I ever rode on Friday in that boat. I was pleased, but I was ready to get out of there about the 17-foot mark. Show you a little bit what it looks like. So the company that came out with an amphibious excavator, and we spoke to a couple landowners that were through there, and they hadn't been able to go down the Rockfish Creek. Some of them said in 30 some odd years. Absolutely beautiful, most scenic place in Hoke County, I gotta say. I got to go to some places on Friday that it was a real joy of the job, just stuff that everybody don't get to see. Some of the chain, just I don't know, it's absolutely beautiful. This kind of stuff they took out of the creek. This is a couple areas, you can't go more than a couple hundred feet without going into trees across the creek like that there, or something like this here in the middle of the creek. So for recreation, folks want to get out and kayak and boat and go down the creek. This is definitely an improvement. Fairly large trees across there. We've experienced seems to be continuous damages from things like Tropical Storm Debbie, Florence, Matthew. All of this stuff just compounds up, and when the funding becomes available, we go snatch it down. But it's like all things I feel like we deal with, perpetual crisis. There's not enough to go around. This has got to be the biggest root ball I've ever seen. One of those trees that came down from there. But this is kind of what it looks like when you get started around Davis's Bridge, and I'm going to show you what it looks like after. Going through here fairly quick. This is it now.
That looks good. That looks good.
For 3 fellas, I don't know how many hours a day they were working, but they put in a couple hours.
Very good.
Absolutely picturesque. Before you'd struggle to get a kayak down there, and we took a 17-foot john boat with a big 25 horsepower outboard on it, and went right down the middle of the creek with no problem whatsoever. Went all the way down to Davis's Bridge. There was a Mr. Cecil McKeithen that let us access his property, and we didn't have any issue with that at all. And came on up. This is another one we did, a small farm ditch. We had a little bit of money left over to take care of. We've cleared that up to be that. So roughly $211,000 from North Carolina Department of Agriculture, about 20,000 linear feet, and we're continuing to commit to that. What I'm coming to talk to you about in addition to this is in the disaster supplemental that a lot of us were looking at in the wake of Hurricane Helene that devastated western North Carolina, there was the appropriation of $80 million to a 5-county coalition, and as non-federal as I can get, they earmarked it the best they could with putting it here for the counties of Bladen, Scotland, Robeson, Hoke, and Columbus to benefit, to clean out waterways that were impacted. There is a company that was supposed to start assessments in Robeson County today, and it's kind of like our validation point, if you will. They generate their reports, they send it into the state where that money's going to be passed through to make sure that it's valid. So the meat and potatoes, what I'm saying is for $1,500 a mile, Hoke County can get waterways evaluated. Now, we have something along the line of 39 navigable waters here. The initial proposal has something around 89.7 miles. I don't really like decimal points, so I'm just proposing to you all to know, if you wish to make the movement, that Hoke County commit to 100 miles, which would be $150,000. That $150,000, our federal Congress approved that $80 million to fund the actual cleaning of the debris.
and that contract would be resident in Robeson County, so they're taking care of all the heavy lifting for it. North Carolina General Assembly said that they would pay for the evaluation cost. So this is upfront cost that we're going to be reimbursed for. I spoke with the manager about getting those letters from our state and local senators, our state and federal senators, to make sure that those programs are locked in. I know we all had a scare last week with the with some dollars being liquid at times. I think it would be a good way to put it. So I'm working on getting that, but that's the proposal. This is kind of work that that can be done here in Hoke County, and I'd love to see it happen. And that would be just call it a couple of waterways. That would be all of the Lumber River. There's 29.7 miles of that from Drowning Creek up where Scotland, Richmond, and Hoke meet down to Robeson County. And then it would also take care of Rockfish in its entirety, Puppy Creek, Nicholson Creek, Beaver Creek, just a ton of waterways here in Hoke County.
Sounds good. You need any action taken?
If it's the board's wish to support this, sir, I would ask that Hoke County pledge or commit to 100 miles or $150,000 to support the evaluation for this program.
Wait, I need to add that. Great.
County manager, where would the money come from?
Well, it's a reimbursable. I will have to find it, but we have it in our professional services, but I want to make sure that I get the letter from the representative that we will be,
Absolutely.
have our money reimbursed before we do it. That's what I wanted to make sure of. That's why I wanted the board to know that,
Approve it subject to the reimbursement.
subject to the reimbursement.
Okay, let me first add a motion to add this item.
Mr. Chairman, I make that motion.
The second?
Second.
Motion to add this item for tonight's meeting. All in favor, would aye? Aye. Opposed, I have it. Now what the wish of the board?
Mr. Chairman, let me just say this. I attended one of these meetings, it's been almost a year ago. Guy came in, had did a lot of work down in Louisiana with this type of work down in the bayous. And I went there, my tribal chairman sent me to that meeting. I didn't know what I was going there for, but I'm glad I went now because we kind of got to get in on something that was taking place and we didn't miss out on getting some monies. But anyway, they attested to how much that using these federal dollars that they have set aside just for this type of work, how that it has improved their land and their flooding down in Louisiana, down in the Gulf. That it is day and night difference when those creeks and all of those things or waterways are cleaned out. Those trees aren't laid over in it. They move all that debris out of it, and when that water can flow like it's supposed to flow without being hindered, it saves a lot of people's property from flooding. And that's the goal, is not to just have a pretty creek that we can paddle down, but the long range is that when we get another hurricane, which we will, it ain't if we will, it's just a matter of when, we're going to get one, and it may be your property that this waterway, that it'll save it from flooding. And, this is very important. Most of this money is reimbursable, and it's a ton of money. And by joining with the other counties, it made the application more stronger because it was taking care of a whole region. And that Lumber River runs through 4 different counties. So, that's just going to help all of us when we get it cleared out. But I just wanted to point that out, Mr. Chairman. It's going to be well worth anything that we put towards this.
It's taking care of land for the future, for our children.
Mr. Chair, I have those numbers here. I had a chance to pull them up. And I want to say the county manager was instrumental in doing this. It was her letters back and forth to our elected office, both at the state and federal level, that helped really push us over there. Some folks missed out on this. As Commissioner Hunt alluded to, we had that inaugural meeting, and we kind of got to see who was on the boat then. So I'm glad we were. I'm glad that was pushed on. The creeks that are here, Rockfish, Puppy Creek, Lumber, Tony's, Raft Swamp, Little Raft Swamp, Big Marsh, Long Swamp, and Big Middle. Now, I told you that we hadn't got to the whole 100 yet, but that's 82.7 miles. That assessment, if we did that, which I think you all are about to do the 100, is $124,050. The estimated value of that is $15,282,000. sorry, 50,282,960 is what that would come out to. That would be free to Hoke County, no burden on the taxpayers here.
Good. That helps take care of land for the future, for Harry, for your children. When you be gone, but it's good for your
I
children.
don't know, I might still be here.
All righty. I need a motion to adopt that motion. Do I have a motion on that?
Mr. Chairman, I make that motion.
The second? Need a second on that. Motion second to adopt, and that we become part of that club that we receive those dollars. All had time to consider. All in favor with aye? Aye. Opposed? I have it. Thank you. That's it, Tish?
No, the next issue I have is during our utilities committee that we sat in on last week, one of the things that I need from the Board of Commissioners is I need us to have a retreat of some sort so that the utilities department and myself can sit down and talk with the Board of Commissioners so that we can discuss some issues that I have with myself.
That's 24.
The utilities director, and some things from the utilities committee that we need to sit down and talk with the Board of Commissioners about. We need to talk with some things with our infrastructure and some things that we need to talk about, but I need a session with the board to do that. So I need a retreat of some sort.
Sally, you got a request?
So I have a request. When does the board want to meet with me and my director to sit down and talk with you about that? And I'm open to the board.
Mr. Chairman, I think the inaugural ball for the new governor has been rescheduled to April, that we've already committed to attending. Since we're going to be in Raleigh and we've had retreats there, I think we can, if it's the wishes of the board, we can schedule a retreat.
Add a day for that?
Yep, and to spend a couple of days as we typically would during our annual retreat.
Okay. That's
For
good?
April? Book it for April.
Grateful. Get those dates when the government ball be
Okay,
going on.
I can do it for then.
When is that? Do you know when that ball, that is, Sam? That's fine.
Just reschedule to April.
You'll send us the
April,
dates.
and I'll send y'all the dates and I'll make it
Okay.
plan.
All right, thank you.
That's all for me.
That's it?
Oh, before you, I know you get ready to close up, I know how you're gonna.
Go ahead.
We have a
I wanna recognize the county manager once again. In regards to the housing authority, process, we need at least 25 citizens to sign, what is it called, a petition, or what is it called?
It is Andrew, it is a petition, isn't it?
We had 25 people today, don't we?
Yep. We got
Andrew
25
has
here.
it. I think he's gonna pull
Yeah.
it for me right now.
So, yeah, in order for us to get a housing authority to keep this thing going with the housing that we're doing and we're building, we need to get, part of the process is that we need to get at least 25 citizens to sign on that they agreed that the county create a housing authority. And I think Andrew went to go get the document, so if anybody here is willing to sign, that don't mean you're gonna get a house over there, CC Steel. That just means that you're willing to allow us to go forward because we gotta have the county's input. So I thought he was gonna have that document with it. Did he leave, Chris? Andrew?
No, I did.
Okay.
You good?
But that's all, but go ahead.
All righty, folks. We need to have a statue. We need to have a closed session. Give me that statue. Need that.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we go into closed session for the purposes of discussion personnel issues, North Carolina statute 143-318.11A5, and the expansion of an industry or business to North Carolina pursuant to North Carolina General Statute, section 143-318.11, section A5.
The second?
Second.
All in favor with aye? Aye. Opposed? 5-minute break.
Yeah, I was trying to get the phone. I thought it was waiting on me.
Got 25
Yeah, we got right here now.
Motion here.
Tell you, stop. They was moving forward. And he stopped him.
We good?
Yeah.
I'm on.
He stopped him.
Closed session.
Yeah, we out. Now, I need to make a motion to adjourn. That's what I need. The motion to,
I moved to adjourn.
second?
Second.
All in favor with aye? Aye. Close. I have not turned it back off.